Have you ever felt completely stuck in a relationship or a dynamic that you know is draining you, but every time you try to confront it, things just get worse? Well, today we're going to talk about a totally different way to handle it. It's not about fighting back harder, it's about reclaiming your power through something called psychological detachment. And let's just start with this idea right here because it completely flips the script. This isn't about loss, it's about empowerment. You are not losing someone, they are losing their access pass to you. That single shift in how you see it, that's the key to everything we're about to get into. So, why is it so incredibly hard to just walk away from these situations? It really can feel like there's this invisible force just holding you in place. We're going to get into the psychology behind that exact feeling, because once you actually understand the trap, you can start taking it apart.
I think pretty much everyone can relate to this, right? That feeling of being absolutely hooked. You know it's not good for you, but you feel completely trapped, almost like you're chemically bonded to the drama. And it turns out that feeling, it's not just in your head. It's basically by design.
And this is the name of the game: intermittent reinforcement. See, it's not the constant negativity that keeps you stuck. It's those unpredictable, random moments of good. A sudden compliment out of nowhere, a brief flash of kindness. That little glimmer of hope is the psychological glue that keeps you coming back. The best way to think about it is like a slot machine in Vegas. You don't keep pulling that lever because you expect to win every single time. Of course not. You pull it for the chance of winning. That unpredictable reward system is what makes it so addictive. And it is the exact same hook at play in these exhausting relationships. Okay, so let's talk about what most of us do instinctively and why it's almost always the wrong move. We try to reason with them, we try to explain ourselves, and in the process, we walk right into a beautifully laid trap. Oh, this is such a common one. You think, if I can just find the right words, if I can just build the perfect argument, then they'll finally see my side of things. But here's the thing. You're not in a debate. You're not playing a game of logic. You're just handing them fresh ammunition. And this kicks off a really predictable, really draining cycle, right? You explain yourself. Then they expertly twist what you just said. Next, you feel defensive, or maybe even guilty. And just like that, they've pulled the emotional strings and are right back in control. Your own words just became the fuel for their fire. So, if explaining is the wrong move, what's the right one? Well, it's a strategy that can feel really counterintuitive at first, but it is psychologically brilliant. It's the detachment response. This is where you realize your most powerful tool isn't a better argument, it's your silence. Now, this is a critical reframe. Silence in this context isn't weak. It's not passive. It is an active, powerful declaration. It communicates one thing with crystal clarity. Your behavior no longer gets a reaction from me. I am not participating in this drama anymore. And the contrast here is it's stark. Confrontation just feeds the beast. You're giving them exactly what they crave, drama and your energy. But detachment, it does the exact opposite. It starves the drama of its oxygen, which is your reaction, and it signals total indifference. And indifference is the one thing a manipulator absolutely cannot stand. Okay, so let's break down why this works so incredibly well. It's not magic, right? It's actually based on two core psychological principles that get triggered the moment you stop playing the game. First up, you've got something called behavioral extinction. Think about it. Every time you react with anger, with frustration, with trying to justify yourself, you are actually reinforcing their behavior. You're giving them a little reward. The moment you consistently withhold that reward, the behavior, it just stops. It has no reason to continue. This is really the easiest way to picture it. Every argument, every text back, every emotional outburst is like you tossing another log on the fire. When you go silent, you're not just walking away from the fire, you are cutting off its entire fuel supply. And eventually, a fire with no fuel has no choice but to burn itself out. And the second principle is what we can call self-justification fatigue. I mean, it is exhausting trying to pick a fight with a brick wall. When all their attempts to get a rise out of you are met with nothing but silence, they're left totally alone with their own behavior. With no one to blame or react, they just run out of steam. So, where does all this lead? What's the end game when you finally master this response? Well, this is where the real freedom begins. At the end of the day, it all boils down to this one simple truth. This is the entire game. They feed on your emotional reactions. It's a parasitic relationship. The second you cut off their food supply, your reaction, they have no choice but to starve and go look for a meal somewhere else.
And this is what happens. They just get bored. The game isn't fun for them anymore. The drama engine completely stalls out, and they go off in search of a new person to bother. And they don't just vanish physically. More importantly, they disappear from your emotional and mental space. You've made yourself so unresponsive that you're just not a viable target anymore.
So, you see, this isn't just some interesting theory. It's a tool. And its real power isn't in just understanding it. It's in actually applying it. Now that you see how it all works, the only real question left is, whose access are you going to revoke?